Welcome to this session. I wanted to tell you a little bit about some changes that we've made in our own system and some successes we've had with it. In the recent past, we haven't used the frequencies much at all. We've come to the conclusion that if the immune system can do the job, it is best if we let it just do the job. That way we know there's a cure. We know we don't have to constantly keep meddling with the thing. And if we can improve the symbols so that they better communicate to the immune system what the correct emotions are, or allow the body to decide for itself, then perhaps this is the most effective way we can work. So we've worked on the symbols. First, instead of one, I would call it ad hoc connector symbol in back. It's a symbol that's always behind all of them, and it's got some circles and some hexagons and stuff. Not very symmetrical. I've created, how many are there? 6 or 7?
Yes. I don't know.
One's a circle, one's a hexagon. These are very simple outlines that appear behind them and seem to center our focus as we look at these things. And in each case, we choose the one we want. One of them is a group of tiled hexagons all together. Another is just a big triangle. And we find that this seems to help us. Second, we've started creating a session to begin with. We start with one of the spheroid tones to focus us on the emotions that we need. Once we've done that, we usually do...
We look at the connectors.
We decide what connectors we want and what symbols we want, and we make a list. And then we just create all of them on the computer so it's there. But then before we physically start, we do a few statements using the EFT techniques.
Yes, emotional freedom technique.
Yeah. And that seems to set the thing up. It really seems to help make it more effective. If we do just a few of them.
It helps focus the intention on what we need to accomplish.
Yeah. It seems as though the spheroid gives us an overall territory, the EFT statements narrow it down, and then finally the symbols do the job.
Yes.
Let me give you an example of one thing that I've done. I'm an unusual tennis player. Generally in tennis, the forehand, which is just this side, there you go, whack, is the strong stroke and the backhand is the weak one. In my case, it's exactly the opposite. Now, in most cases when you have a very strong backhand, it's because you're using 2 arms. And of course, you've got 2 arms instead of 1. It's a very strong stroke. But I'm not. Just 1. And it turns out the reason is because my forehand is just plain weak. And it's weak because of range of motion. Remember that bad shoulder? The arm, when I fixed it, would only go back to here. If you look on the other side, my arm goes all the way back behind me. I did one symbol session. It took me 15 minutes. And as a result, this arm in the shoulder joint now goes all the way back to there. It hasn't gone back that far since I was 12 years old, and I'll be 69 in a couple days. It took 15 minutes. It's just amazing. Now, I have to tell you, I haven't tried playing tennis on it yet. We'll see.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, yeah. Okay. Now, how about your story?
Well, I saw what Richard was doing with his range of motion with his arm, and I had a problem with range of motion with my neck. It's been going on for over 20 years, and chiropractors have worked on it. I've had massages, and the doctors are telling me I need an operation in my neck and all this And of course, I don't like any kind of operation, so I usually just did a lot of yoga stretches to allow my neck to relax, and I think that helps. But recently I've been exercising at Curves, and we do a wonderful stretch at the end after we have done our circuits, and we exercise each muscle in the body. We have one of the stretches we do at the end is a spinal twist. And if I go this way, then I press against this and try to get my back this way. And in the other direction, I work on getting my neck this way. So I think I have a little bit of better motion on this side than I do on this side. So we measured before I did a session, and whatever it was. After the session we measured, and I think my motion in this direction toward the right was quite a bit better. And actually I think to the left it is also better, but not quite where we want it to be. And but what I find significant is that after we did the session, we had a nice long walk in the woods, and we were thinking about the repercussions of having a pinched nerve basically in the neck, and what little problems do you have because of that. Little irritations, like your arm falls asleep, and sometimes my hand would fall asleep while I'm driving, and I wake up at night with my arm asleep because of a pinched nerve.
Little irritations like the fact that you were depressed all your life? I mean, hey, that's...
Well, that was probably part of it too.
How about little irritations like you lost your kneecap and your leg came out of your hip?
my
little irritations.
We have handled all that, so I don't even think about it anymore. But now I'm just paying attention to real tiny irritations, not the big ones. We've handled those. But it seems that I will need to do a couple more sessions with this and remind the body that maybe the ligaments here need to be stretched.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I mean, they've been tight for a long time. They need to be stretched. They need to loosen up a little bit.
So you believe there's probably some more sessions to do?
There's more work to be done, but I'm already excited that whatever we've accomplished so far. Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah. And this was done without frequencies. This is just symbols. And
the tone and the symbols. And the symbols with those new connectors you made are so powerful. They're absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing.
Yes.
If the information is not stored in our body, but is stored in some way, and remember, I'm a physicist, sorry about that. I believe it's in the curvature of space, using the gravity to produce the curvature. Then the symbols become the connectors become a kind of code for the body to find the information, and that just seems to work so beautifully. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's about it. That's what we can report.
Yes.